Chapter 18 Moksha Sannyas Yoga. Arjun said, O mighty armed Krishna, I wish to understand the nature of sannyas, that is renunciation of actions, and tyag, that is renunciation of the desire for the fruits of actions. O Rishikesh, I also wish to know the distinction between the two. O Keshini Sudan, the Supreme Divine Personality said, giving up of actions motivated by desire is what the wise understand as sannyas. Relinquishing the fruits of all actions is what the learned declare to be tyag. Some learned people declare that all kinds of actions should be given up as evil, while others maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. Now hear my conclusion on the subject of renunciation. O tiger amongst men, for renunciation has been declared to be of three kinds. Action based upon sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. They must certainly be performed. Indeed, acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are purifying even for those who are wise. These activities must be performed without attachment and expectation for rewards. This is my definite and supreme verdict, O Arjun. Prescribed duties should never be renounced. Such deluded renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. To give up prescribed duties because they are troublesome or cause bodily discomfort is renunciation in the mode of passion. Such renunciation is never beneficial or elevating. When actions are taken in response to duty, Arjun, and one relinquishes attachment to any reward, it is considered renunciation in the nature of goodness. Those who neither avoid disagreeable work nor seek work because it is agreeable and persons of true renunciation, they are endowed with the quality of the mode of goodness and have no doubts about the nature of work. For the embodied being, it is impossible to give up activities entirely, but those who relinquish the fruits of their actions are said to be truly renounced. The threefold fruits of actions, pleasant, unpleasant, and mixed, accrue even after death to those who are attached to personal reward. But for those who renounce the fruits of their actions, there are no such results in the here or thereafter. O Arjun, now learn from me about the 5 factors that have been mentioned for the accomplishment of all actions in the doctrine of Sankhya, which explains how to stop the reactions of karmas. The body, the doer, the various senses, the many kinds of efforts, and divine providence. These are the 5 factors of action. These 5 are the contributory factors for whatever action is performed, whether proper or improper, with body, speech, or mind. Those who do not understand this regard the soul as the only doer. With their impure intellects, they cannot see things as they are. Those who are free from the ego of being the doer and whose intellect is unattached, though they may slay living beings, they neither kill nor are they bound by actions. Knowledge, the object of knowledge and the knower. These are the 3 factors that induce action. The instrument of action, the act itself, and the doer. These are the 3 constituents of action. Knowledge, action, and the doer are declared to be of 3 kinds in the Sankhya philosophy, distinguished according to the 3 modes of material nature. Listen, and I will explain their distinctions to you. Understand that knowledge to be in the mode of goodness by which a person sees an undivided, imperishable reality within all diverse living beings. That knowledge is to be considered in the mode of passion by which one sees the manifold living entities in diverse bodies as individual and unconnected. That knowledge is said to be in the mode of ignorance, where one is engrossed in a fragmental concept as if it encompasses the whole and which is neither grounded in reason nor based on the truth. Action that is in accordance with the scriptures, which is free from attachment and aversion, and which is done without desire for rewards, is in the mode of goodness. Action that is prompted by selfish desire, enacted with pride, and full of stress, is in the nature of passion. That action is declared to be in the mode of ignorance, which is begun out of delusion. without thought to one's own ability and disregarding consequences, loss, and injury to others. The performer is said to be in the mode of goodness when he or she is free from egotism and attachment, endowed with enthusiasm and determination, and equipoised in success and failure. The performer is considered in the mode of passion when he or she craves the fruit of their work, is covetous, violent-natured, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow. A performer in the mode of ignorance is one who is undisciplined, vulgar, stubborn, deceitful, slothful, despondent, and procrastinating. Hear now, O Arjun, of the distinctions of intellect and determination according to the three modes of material nature, as I describe them in detail. The intellect is said to be in the nature of goodness, O Parth, when it understands what is proper action and what is improper action, what is duty and what is non-duty, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating. The intellect is considered in the mode of passion when it is confused between righteousness and unrighteousness and cannot distinguish between right and wrong conduct. That intellect which is shrouded in darkness, imagining irreligion to be religion and perceiving untruth to be the truth, is of the nature of ignorance. The steadfast will that is developed through yoga and which sustains the activities of the mind, the life airs, and the senses is said to be determination in the mode of goodness. The steadfast will by which one holds to duty, pleasures, and wealth out of attachment and desire for rewards is determination in the mode of passion. That unintelligent resolve is said to be determination in the mode of ignorance, in which one does not give up dreaming, fearing, grieving, despair, and conceit. And now hear from me, O Arjun, of the three kinds of happiness in which the embodied soul rejoices and can even reach the end of all suffering. That which seems like poison at first, but tastes like nectar in the end, is said to be happiness, in the mode of goodness. It is generated by the pure intellect that is situated in self-knowledge. Happiness is said to be in the mode of passion when it is derived from the contact of the senses with their objects. Such happiness is like nectar at first, but poison at the end. That happiness which covers the nature of the self from beginning to end, and which is derived from sleep, indolence, and negligence, is said to be in the mode of ignorance. No living being on earth or the high celestial abodes in this material realm is free from the influence of these three modes of nature. The duties of the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras are distributed according to their qualities in accordance with their gunas and not by birth. Tranquility, restraint, austerity, purity, patience, integrity, knowledge, wisdom, and belief in a hereafter. These are the intrinsic qualities of work for Brahmins: valor, strength, fortitude, skill in weaponry, resolve never to retreat from battle, large-heartedness in charity, and leadership abilities. These are the natural qualities of work for Kshatriyas. Agriculture, dairy farming, and commerce are the natural works for those with the qualities of Vaishyas. Serving through work is a natural duty for those with the qualities of Shudras. By fulfilling their duties, born of their innate qualities, human beings can attain perfection. Now hear from me how one can become perfect by discharging one's prescribed duties. By performing one's natural occupation, one worships the Creator from whom all living entities have come into being, and by whom the whole universe is pervaded. By such performance of work, a person easily attains perfection. It is better to do one's own dharma, even though imperfectly, than to do another's dharma, even though perfectly. By doing one's innate duties, a person does not incur sin. One should not abandon duties born of one's nature, even if one sees defects in them. O son of Kunti, indeed all endeavors are wheeled by some evil, as fire is by smoke. Those whose intellect is unattached everywhere, who have mastered the mind and are free from desires by the practice of renunciation, attain the highest perfection of freedom from action. Hear from me briefly, O Arjun, and I shall explain how one who has attained perfection of cessation of actions can also attain Brahman by being firmly fixed in transcendental knowledge. One becomes fit to attain Brahman when he or she possesses a purified intellect and firmly restrains the senses, abandoning sound and other objects of the senses, casting aside attraction and aversion. Such a person relishes solitude, eats lightly, controls body, mind, and speech, is ever engaged in meditation, and practices dispassion. Free from egotism, violence, arrogance, desire, possessiveness of property, and selfishness, such a person situated in tranquility is fit for union with Brahman, that is, realization of the absolute truth as Brahman. One situated in the transcendental Brahman realization becomes mentally serene, neither grieving nor desiring, being equitably disposed towards all living beings. Such a yogi attains supreme devotion unto me. Only by loving devotion to me does one come to know who I am in truth. Then, having come to know me, my devotee enters into full consciousness of me. My devotees, though performing all kinds of actions, take full refuge in me. By my grace they attain the eternal and imperishable abode. Dedicate your every activity to me, making me a supreme goal. Taking shelter of the yoke of the intellect, keep your consciousness absorbed in me always. If you remember me always, by my grace you will overcome all obstacles and difficulties. But if, due to pride, you do not listen to my advice, you will perish. If motivated by pride, you think, I shall not fight, your decision will be in vain. Your own material Kshatriya nature will compel you to fight. O Arjun, that action which out of delusion you do not wish to do, you will be driven to do it by your own inclination, born of your own material nature. The Supreme Lord dwells in the hearts of all living beings, O Arjun. According to their karmas, he directs the wanderings of the souls who are seated on a machine made of material energy. Surrender exclusively unto him with your whole being, O Bharat. By his grace you will attain perfect peace and the eternal abode. Thus, I have explained to you this knowledge that is more secret than all secrets. Ponder over it deeply and then do as you wish. Here again my supreme instruction, the most confidential of all knowledge. I am revealing this for your benefit because you are very dear to me. Always think of me, be devoted to me, worship me, and offer obeisance to me. Doing so, you will certainly come to me. This is my pledge to you, for you are very dear to me. Abandon all varieties of dharmas and simply surrender unto me alone. I shall liberate you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This instruction should never be explained to those who are not austere or to those who are not devoted. It should also not be spoken to those who are averse to listening to spiritual topics, and especially not to those who are envious of me. Those who teach this most confidential knowledge amongst my devotees perform the greatest act of love. They will come to me without doubt. No human being does more loving service to me than they, nor shall there be anyone on this earth more dear to me. And I proclaim that those who study this sacred dialogue of ours will worship me with their intellect through the sacrifice of knowledge. Such is my view. Even those who only listen to this knowledge with faith and without envy will be liberated from sins and attain the auspicious abodes where the pious dwell. O Arjun, have you heard me with a concentrated mind? Have your ignorance and delusion been destroyed? Arjun said, O infallible one, by your grace my illusion has been dispelled, and I am situated in knowledge. I am now free from doubts, and I shall act according to your instructions. Sanjay said, Thus have I heard this wonderful conversation between Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudev, and Arjun, the noble-hearted son of Pritha. So thrilling is the message that my hair is standing on end. By the grace of Ved Vyas, I have heard the supreme and most secret yoga from the Lord of Yoga, Sri Krishna himself. As I repeatedly recall this astonishing and wonderful dialogue between the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and Arjun, O King, I rejoice again and again. And remembering that most astonishing and wonderful cosmic form of Lord Krishna, great is my astonishment, and I am thrilled with joy over and over again. Wherever there is Sri Krishna, the Lord of all Yoga, and wherever there is Arjun, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be unending opulence, victory, prosperity, and righteousness. Of this I am certain. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.